Smoke you! Today we're going to be smoking some people because you know what? We realized we got a lot of folks to smoke out there, and this one is a new puff.
This one actually comes out on the 22nd. It's BulletStorm.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if you played the demo, but we had a chance to sit down with the demo and play it, and we thought it was entertaining.
It's definitely, it's made by Epic, the people who did Gears of War, and it feels a lot like Gears of War in terms of the gameplay. And when you play it, you know, you go through it, you're like, alright, yeah, there's a lot of cussing. Okay, well, it's, you know, it's, I mean, it's as graphic as the style allows, but it's not like it's like photorealism or anything, you know, it's not like I'm playing a Call of Duty Black Ops and going and like knifing a real human being that like we've gotten to know in the back or anything. There's just a bunch of aliens running around.
It's very generic shooter that's trying to be fun, and for some reason it's been debated.
Pretty controversial. Yeah. Now, it was kicked off by Fox News posting saying, "Is BulletStorm the worst video game in the world?"
Well, what I love is the picture that they show. It's some kind of artist rendition of some guy's arm exploding.
It looks like a sugar sculpture. Like I could like, that looks like good candy on flan.
Yes.
If you read this article, the article itself really, the columnist doesn't really have a lot to say about what they personally think about the video game. What they do is they go right from expert to expert, kind of actually going on both sides of the story, and then jumping quickly from the macro to the micro to the macro, talking about ESRB ratings and talking about its impact, video games' impact, violence in video games, and its impact on like youth as a whole.
Well, one thing that got me in this article is for some reason it says that BulletStorm, even though, you know, by the ESA it's been mature rated, 17 and up, says that their target audience is, what, 9-year-olds?
Well, it's saying that 9-year-olds are playing games like this, basically. Like, games like this, 9-year-olds have access to.
Which is really none of the government's business as far as I'm concerned. It has nothing to do with anything.
No, well, what's confusing about it is that how do we skip to these experts, and we're going to pull up a couple of names here for you. Carol Lieberman, a psychiatrist and book author, told Fox News that sexual situations and acts in video games highlighted so well in BulletStorm have led to real-world sexual violence. The increase in rapes can be attributed in large part to the playing out of sexual scenes in video games.
Okay.
How many people did you rape this week?
Where's the proof on this? You know, as far as I know, they've done studies and violence has actually decreased because people have something to do with their time.
Yes.
You know, with these video games or et cetera, et cetera. But BulletStorm has sexual, you know, words or slogans on, you know, gangbang or fire in the hole or et cetera, but I'm not really sure how that relates to me physically going out there and, you know, having my way with a woman in any way, shape, or form.
No, I mean, the fact that, like, if I cut somebody in half with my gun because I'm shooting them or tossing them up in the air or shoot a bunch of guys at the same time, just because I read the word topless or gangbang or, like, take it in the butt or whatever it is, bullet in the, or fire in the hole if you put something up their butt or something like that.
I thought that was great they were offended by topless. When I can drive down the street and see topless bar as I'm driving down the street, and that actually means some sexual connotation specifically.
You know, all they're doing is it's puns. That's all they're doing in this game is making jokes and making puns, but they're not actually, you're not actually, like, your character is doing nothing sexually to that person. But then we jump from that into an expert like Carol Lieberman saying that games like BulletStorm, did you play this game? Did you play the demo? Did you play it at all? No, you didn't. Because if you did, you would never make such an ignorant comment like that.
How are they not attacking Duke Nukem? You know, he's in a titty bar, you know, talking about balls of steel and what he would hit, and they're attacking this for sexual anything? I
think that maybe they just panned ESRB ratings for, like, the most controversial thing said on the back of a box, and this just happened to get released sooner than Duke Nukem's ESRB.
Man, I can't wait to see what they say about that.
Alright, but, like, to go back to this article for a second, we got another person in here, because I think that, you know, there's not a lot of editorializing in this Fox News article, and that's kind of, I think, evident with this other guy that they quote, Hal Halpin. For the Entertainment Consumer Association. He says, I respect the creative rights of game developers to make games like BulletStorm in the same way that I appreciate Quentin Tarantino's right to make over-the-top movies like Kill Bill. that totally makes sense because Kill Bill is super violent.
I think I might watch that tonight because I haven't seen it. It's a great movie.
Yeah. And then you know, they go, and sometimes people will talk about the fact that, oh, well, they're just hyping up the violence in this video game so that they can sell this game. And this article talks about that too, actually in a favorable light, saying that games without sufficient quality of gameplay that includes highly objectionable, violent, or sexual content, often pump up the levels to gain media attention. But that tactic typically fails, as can be seen in the poor sales performance of games that we know, BMX, XXX, and Postal. And that's a video game analyst with M2 Research. So you got, and this is all within the same article. So you've got people that, I mean, clearly we played this demo, we actually enjoyed the demo, laughed a lot, and said, oh, you know what, it's got pretty good gameplay, which is, as gamers, is what we do, is analyze the gameplay. So, but what do you think, Handsome Tom, about a 9-year-old getting a hold of this game? What are your thoughts on that?
Can a 9-year-old go shoot a deer?
Yep.
Can we take a 9-year-old hunting? I don't see, you know, that's
maybe not the best idea you've ever had in your life.
Yeah, but it's true. I mean, you can take a 9-year-old hunting and shoot a deer.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a cartoon.
Well, what do you think about the fact, this article is also talking about, what do you think about the fact that they're saying that ESRB doesn't do enough, they should impose a $1,000 fine on a store clerk that sells an underage child a video game? How do you feel about that?
That's none of the store clerk's business at all. I know in most states, you know, when I worked at EB Games, now that it's all GameStop, we were told specifically that if anyone came in to buy a game, mature rated or otherwise, legally we could not, you know, tell them that we can't sell to them because that's discriminating. Mm-hmm. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's the parent's job to pay attention. You know, if you buy this game and your kid finds it, then it's your fault.
Well, here's my big thing. The parent, a 9-year-old child, let's go 13, 14-year-old child, where did they get the money to buy the video game? Let's think about this. Is unless the child labor laws are so lax in these countries, or we got a lot of farm workers out there, you got kids, parents have handed money to their kids. And so whose responsibility is it? Is it that kid's responsibility to know, like, well, maybe I should, you know, figure out, let me buy the most wholesome game that will enrich my life?
Well, one thing I did enjoy you talking about is the guns.
Oh.
Do you put a gun out on your table and leave it in the middle of the room so your kid can find it?
Yeah. It's just
Why would you leave the game in the middle of the room so your 9-year-old could play it if you don't want them to play it?
Yeah. If parents want to take responsibility and help out in the rearing of their child and the raising of their child, like, let's give your new daughter a handgun. How old is she now?
You know, she could pull a Maggie Simpson and shoot Mr. Burns.
Shoot Mr. Burns? Yeah.
Could happen.
That's right. But more than likely, like, a child doesn't know how to use a gun, doesn't have respect for a gun. And in the same way, but does that mean that we should outlaw all guns in houses? So we're going to smoke all the people in that article, and then we're going to smoke another article, actually, because this gained a lot of popularity, a lot of buzz on the internet by another video game website called the Escapist magazine. And we've got this person, Andy Chalk, who apparently has made a similarly racy title by saying that Fox News says that BulletStorm could make you a rapist.
Now, Andy, you just quoted exactly what the rape scenario scene said that video games could.
Video games. Not BulletStorm, not Fox News,
yeah.
But that an expert on the Fox News website said that video games could encourage people to rape. But now, apparently, Andy has said that Fox News that says BulletStorm makes you a rapist, which makes Andy a hypocrite, ignorant reporter. Because all you're doing in here is chopping up a news story so that you can make it even more racy because you're playing on the fact that everybody on the internet loves to take stabs at Fox News. So, what we're not going to do, we're not going to attack the Escapist because, you know what, maybe they didn't see you publish this piece of shit article. Maybe they said, you know what, this guy, ooh, he is a god amongst columnists. He can publish whatever he wants and nobody has anything to say about it. So, of course, what he's done is not included the original article in a way. He's misquoted an original article so that he could serve his own point.
Well, sure. And, you know, that's what's popular because people are really defensive when it comes to wanting to play their violent video games because the government keeps trying to ban it. So this makes the article look like he's defending video games, and actually I think it's doing the opposite.
Yep.
It's making the game to be worse than it is so more people are aware of, you know, maybe more violent situations, which I guess if that's what you don't want your kid to see, it works.
And what's the deal? Attacking Bill O'Reilly isn't sure where the moon came from? What does that have to do with anything? That doesn't have anything to do with this. So clearly, you hate Fox News, you have a computer, you have a forum, and then you have a lot of people wanting to read about that. So, congratulations for pandering, you idiot. Hey, Andy, why don't you be a real man and write a real article? And you know what? You got a problem with it? You can email me, but you know what I say? Smoke you!